Alright, here is your review for your test on section 5.1, everything with radians and degrees. First, finding out what quadrant we're in. Remember, we have quadrant 1, 2, 3, and 4. And to find out what they are, let's start with degrees. Even though it's negative, if I go negative, I'm going negative 90, negative 180, negative 120, somewhere in between there, so that's quadrant 3. 3 pi over 5, I'm going my normal direction. This is pi over 2. This is the full pi. 3 pi over 5 is somewhere between a half and a whole pi. That's why this is in quadrant 2. Determining two coterminal angles, a positive and a negative. For this, all we need to do is, for a positive and negative, I need to add and subtract 2 pi, or add and subtract 360 degrees. So, when I add 2 pi, I had 2 pi over 3. I'm adding 2 pi, that's the same as adding 6 pi over 3. So I should have 8 pi over 3 as one of them. And if I subtract it instead, it would be negative 4 pi over 3. Same with this, adding and subtracting 360. That should be pretty straightforward. 627 degrees when I add, negative 93 degrees when I subtract. I can keep adding and subtracting 360 though and get more answers. For number 5, finding the positive complement and supplement angles. Remember, complement means 90 degrees, supplement means 180 degrees. In this case, we're doing it with radians though, so complement is pi over 2, and supplement is pi. To get to a full pi from pi over 6, I need another 5 pi over 6. Gives me a full one. Same with this one, I need pi over 5 more to get to a full pi, a full 180 degrees. For complement, I need to get to pi over 2. So pi over 6 plus what equals pi over 2? The easiest way to do that is subtract pi over 2 minus pi over 6. That's the same as saying 3 pi over 6 minus pi over 6, so it's 2 pi over 6, which will reduce to pi over 3. And for this one, 4 pi over 5 is already more than 90 degrees. It's more than 2 pi. So or more than pi over 2, I mean. So there is no complement there. For number 7, 8 pi over 7, I'm changing from radians to degrees here. All I need to do is I need to multiply this by, since pi is up top, multiply it by with pi radians on the bottom for 180 degrees up on top. And I should get an answer when I do that conversion of 205.71 degrees. Same with this one, multiplying by 180 degrees over pi radians. And when I do that, I should get an answer of negative 36 degrees. Alright, number 9 here, now we're converting from degrees to radians, so degrees are now up top. So I need my 180 degrees on the bottom times pi radians. So that means here my answer is 23 pi over 18 radians. I like that answer the best. You could even go and mark it off. I think it's 1.27 pi radians. You could go that way as well. This is your important answer. For number 10, what we do here is we split it up. We need to go into decimal form. So we're already in 56 degrees. That's good. I need to get 30 minutes into degrees. Well, 30 minutes I need to divide by 60 to get it into a degree form. Same with the 23 seconds. If I divide that by 3600, then that will be in degree form. So when I add all those up, that's 56 degrees plus, it'd be 0.5 degrees plus 0.00639 degrees. So combining it, 56.50639 degrees as your answer. Alright, now your favorite ones, the word problems. Besides my terrible spelling, obviously, as you can probably tell, always start with what we know. It goes at 38 millis per hour. We'll assume that means instead miles per hour. And what do we need to get to in the end? We want to get to, first, the revs per minute in part 1, so we'll start with that. I need to get to revs per minute. Something else I should know, always that 1 rev is the same as 2 pi radians, and that 1 rev is equal to the circumference, which is pi times the diameter. Diameter of 27, so it's 27 pi inches. So I need to get into this unit, inches, from miles. So I'll do that first. That 1 mile is the same as 5280 feet. And I can get that to inches by saying that 1 foot is the same as 12 inches. So now my unit right now is inches per hour. I need it to be revs per minute. To get inches into revs, I'm going to use my circumference, so 27 pi inches for 1 rev. And then also, instead of revs per hour, which I have right now, I need revs per minute. So I need to go that 1 hour is 60 minutes. So now I'm in the right units. I have revs per minute. I can do my multiplication across. And when I do that, I should get an answer of it's an answer of 1,486.2 divided by pi. Don't forget you have a pi down here when you have that. So that's your answer in revs per minute. Now, to get that into radians per minute, all I need to do, I'm going to use that same number I just had, 1486.2 rev per minute. I need to get into radians per minute. So to get revs into radians, 1 revolution always is the same as 2 pi radians. So actually, because it was 1486.2 divided by my pi's will cancel out. I can just multiply those numbers by 2, and I should get 2972.4 radians per minute as my answer. All right, number 12. All we need to do here first is figure out how far apart they are in degrees. So that's easy. Just do 42 minus 26 gives you 16 degrees of difference. And we even tell you what the formula is, that the arc length equals the radius times theta. Theta needs to be in radians, though. Our radius here is 4,000, and theta, well, it's 16 degrees, but we need to get that into radian mode. So I'm going to do that little conversion right there. So that's all I need to multiply, and when I do, I should get an answer of, it's 355.56 pi. My unit is miles. If you prefer to put it back in and multiply through pi, then you would get an answer of 1117.01 miles. Again, either one's correct. This one actually is much more specific. And our last one, a lawn tractor with 16 diameter inch wheels. So again, I'm going to start with 1 rev is the circumference, which is 16 pi inches, and also that 1 rev is the same as 2 pi radians. So this is just like number 11 again. Start with what we know, which is a rate of 4 revs per second, which is nice and easy. I need to get to feet per second. Well, to get from revs to feet, first I need to get out of revs. So I'm going to say 1 rev is the same as 16 pi inches. And then I can get from inches to feet that 12 inches is the same as 1 foot. So now my unit should be, when my revs cancel, my inches cancel, I got feet per second, just like I need. So I should have 5.3 pi, I think it was 5.3 repeating, pi feet per second. Or that was 16.76 if you multiply the pi out, feet per second. Now for part 2, we need to get in radians per second. I'm going to start the same way. It was 4 revs per second. To get through to radians per second, well, 1 rev is always 2 pi radians. So nice and easy, multiply across, I would get 8 pi radians per second. And again, you can multiply that through 25.12 radians per second if you prefer. But this, again, is your more specific answer. Well, there you have it. Best of luck on your first test, and we'll see how we do.